Guys, welcome back to my channel. Another month has bitten the dust. I feel like that's what I say every single month because it has flown by. We are already on countdown to Christmas. I feel like every time I turn around, someone's saying, only this many weeks till Christmas. Last week, I think it was 19 weeks. Y'all, I don't know. Wasn't Christmas just here? It's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about my favorite products from the month of August. And I think I have a good little mishmash of products here. Mostly, well, not mostly, all makeup, skincare, and fragrance. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to start with skincare. I have two products. I did a reel about these on Instagram. I will try my best to link that down below because even if you don't have Instagram, you can still watch it. But it is a duo of masks from May Lindstrom Skincare. Now, this is not the first time I have tried May Lindstrom skincare. I have talked about the Blue Cocoon on my channel many times years ago. I went through a whole big jar of that. I absolutely loved everything about it. It had been a couple of years since I had used anything from her line. So I ordered the chocolate box. So I'll try to link the chocolate box. And what that is, it's a sampling of pretty much all of her products. I think the only thing that's not in there is like her body oils, but I believe every one of her skincare products is within that box. And they're little minis, which tip, if you get that, keep the minis because they're great for travel. You can refill them if you end up buying a full size. And I just rekindled my love for this brand and I immediately repurchased these two products. And it is the Problem Solver and Honey Mud. So these are, well, this one is a mask. This one can be used as a mask or a cleanser. I personally have never used this as a cleanser. I can't wrap my head around going through it that fast because these aren't exactly drugstore price products and I want them to last as long as possible. So this is the Honey Mud. It's a little, I don't want to put it over too much because it's going to get everywhere, but it is a more gel like liquid consistency, especially compared to the Problem Solver. This has honey, silver, white clay, plant oils, exfoliating acid. It says a natural exfoliating acid and enzymes to help plump, soften, and revive the circulatory rhythm and restore optimal hydration and luminance. So they describe it as more of a pudding consistency, which definitely tracks more than my description of it. So that kind of helps you determine the consistency of this. And then the Problem Solver. Now I had used the Problem Solver before and I don't even know how to answer the question of why I stopped using it. I really don't. It is the star of the show in my opinion. And this was my first purchase. It was actually two different orders. This is a powder. It's a very finely milled powder. It is a fusion of rich raw cacao, bamboo charcoal, soil nutrients, salts, and exotic spices. So when you hear that, and even when you put it on, it can get a little spicy on the skin. I, initially thought, well, this must be some kind of exfoliating mask. It's really not. It is something that is geared to solve problems on the skin. It is healing, it's anti-inflammatory, it can help fade hyperpigmentation over time. It's great to treat and prevent breakouts. You can use this as an all-over mask or as a spot treatment. So I got this first, and then I had seen on, I think Instagram or something, where May Lindstrom herself took this and mixed it with the Honey Mud because you can just mix it with water. I was like, I have the Honey Mud still in a little sample size from the chocolate box. I did that and I loved it. So I will use this like once a week. If my skin is really giving me issues, which it kind of has lately, I will do it up to 2 times a week. And even though it's a little spicy on the skin for like the first 10 to 15 minutes, I will leave it on for 45 minutes to an hour and then I'll rinse it off. And my skin the redness is greatly diminished. It is soft. It does truly look so refreshed. So I don't necessarily think you need to go out and buy both of these products unless you absolutely want to, but the star of the show for me is the Problem Solver. And like I said, you can mix this with water. I just like to be extra and I mix it with the Honey Mud, but I cannot sing the praises of these two enough. Blue Cocoon will also be a repurchase of mine, and I love the Jasmine Garden Mist. That is also excellent. All right, so let's talk about some makeup. Now, I have a few of these products on my skin right now, but I'm actually testing out a new foundation. So the 3 foundation products I'm gonna talk about, I don't have any of them on my skin, but you will be able to see this in my playing with K-Beauty makeup video that I did this month. And this, y'all, has become an absolute favorite foundation. Like, it is, I don't exactly know what I would kick out, but it is in my top 5. Like, I love this foundation so much. And it is from Unleashia, and it's the Satin Wear Healthy Green Cushion Foundation. What I love so much, if you missed that video, is that it's really not a cushion. I mean, there might be a cushion underneath this, but you push this button and the liquid foundation comes up from the middle right here. So I feel like I'm really gonna be able to use every last drop of this. I am in the shade 27W Peach Tan, which unfortunately is the darkest shade. I talk about that in that video. I'll put it up in a card if you wanna go check it out. I am, honestly, I don't wanna say immediately, but after wearing this like 3 times, I went on Stylevana and bought another one for a backup because they had sent me this one originally. I just didn't wanna be without it. And then the brand Unleashia reached out to me after that video and sent me a sampling of their entire brand and sent me another one. So I am stocked up of this foundation for a very long time, and I'm so happy for it because it just looks so good on my skin. It lasts all day. It is very easy to wear. It melts in. It doesn't look heavy. It's fabulous. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it because obviously I can't speak highly enough. Now, when I wasn't wearing that foundation, I really tried to look at some of the ones that I've had in my collection for a hot minute and give them some love because I'm just being overrun by foundations. It's one of my favorite categories of makeup, but I was like, I need to start using some of these and getting them out of my collection. And then when I do that, I end up falling in love with them all over again. Now, I had purchased these 2 drugstore foundations separate of each other. One was too dark and one was too light. And so I was like, you know what? I'm probably not going to be wearing them much on their own because the colors are just not great for me. When I purchase drugstore foundations online, I find that to be an issue, finding a color that matches, because a lot of the times the descriptions are not, they're either not there at all or they're not very good. So I kind of just have to guess. But the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint, which I feel like a lot of people have been talking about lately, is the one that I got in a too dark shade. This is the shade 220. Now, when I looked at Ulta the last time I was actually in store, 120 would be better for my skin. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna buy, I will just mix this. I'm not gonna buy another one. It's 15 bucks, which for drugstore foundation is kind of up there in my opinion. So I pulled out my Revlon Illuminance Skin Caring Foundation, which I have talked about absolutely loving. I do really like the effect of this, but it's a little too light on my skin. So I mixed the 2 together and I love it. So really this is not me telling you, oh, you need to go out and buy these 2 foundations and mix them. It's me telling you that I do like them separate on their own if you're looking for a new drugstore foundation, but also to look out for things in your collection that you're not using because the color may not be great on you, and still give them love by mixing them together, because you may end up finding a favorite finish, which I did in these 2, and mixing them together, the color is near perfect on my skin. So loving the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint and Revlon Illuminance foundations mixed together. Of course, I've got to talk about this powder. This is also in my K-Beauty video, and this and the foundation were the 2 most loved products out of that entire try on. And this is from Hamish Moringa Ceramide Pressed Setting Powder. It's very similar to the NARS Soft Focus Setting Powder in my opinion, as far as how it feels, kind of application. The difference for me is that I feel like this one controls oils better than the NARS one does, while still not looking like powder on the skin at all. It's a great touch-up powder. It's a great setting powder. I have used it with numerous foundations since I have gotten it, and I absolutely love it. I like the size of it. Very, very affordable. I think the last time I looked, it was like $8.50, and just a stellar standout from that haul, and one that I have been using quite often. Now, before I talk about the eye products I've been loving, let me talk about one more face product, and this is new to me. A friend of mine who is a consultant for Beautycounter, sent this over to me to try, and I really can't get over how much I love it. And it is the Cheeky Clean Highlighting Balm. Now, I've talked a lot lately about the fact that I have just been gravitating more towards cream highlighters because I've really been struggling with some texture. I have finally got it under control. I'm going to be doing a separate video on that because I feel like there's a lot of things that worked together to help get that under control, and I do want to share that with everybody because I know I'm not the only one who struggles with texture. But because of that, and because of where it is or was on my face, which is right up here on the upper cheekbones, I just feel like the cream highlights sit better on the skin without really magnifying that any more than I want it to be magnified. So this is in the shade, y'all, I don't know what shade this is. That's one thing about these that I do not like. I have 2 cream blushes from them, and they don't say the shade name on the actual product. I'm sure it's on box, but it may be because Astro. Here we go, popped it out. This is in Astro, and it's what I have on my skin today. And this is something that looks like it might be too dark on me, but then when I get up, still might look like it's a little too dark. Then when you rub it in, it's like no color at all, just glossy finish. And when I look on my fingers, I can see little specks of like sparkle, but I don't feel like that translates onto the cheek, at least not enough to annoy me or to have me notice. But do you see that? And the difference in my hands, how that just, and you can see it on the cheeks. It's just so pretty. It's not too much. I feel like I get compliments on my skin a lot when I wear this lately. I have no idea what the other shades look like. I need to look into it, but I don't know that I need another shade because this one works really, really well. So I had to shout that out because ever since I've gotten it, I think it's the only highlight that I've used. So for the past like 6 or 7 days, it's just been that. And then finally for makeup, got to talk about these 2 eyeshadows. It's what I have on my eyes today. If you watched my Chantecaille Mustangs collection video, then you have seen these in action. They came out with 4 new shades in their single shadows. I almost said luminescent eyeshadows, but they're not all luminescent. 2 are matte and 2 are luminescent within the range. And I definitely have 2 favorites that I have just worn on repeat, and it is Bay, which is the matte dark brown chocolate shade. So beautiful. I use this as a liner very often as a smoky liner. I have it on as a smoky liner today. I used it as a smoky liner in that video. I have a little bit under my eyes. It's glorious. The formula is spectacular. I can only hope that they bring out many, many more shades within this matte lineup because I will definitely be partaking in them. I really, really like the formula and I love this shade. And then the luminescent shade that I have been just using on repeat is Roan. And it's this cinnamon, slightly shimmery shade. This is not as shimmery in my opinion to a lot of the other ones within the luminescent line. It's just enough to catch the light. It's absolutely beautiful. I get so many comments on my eye color when I wear this because I really think it makes the blues pop. It's easy. It's fast. I stick whatever bronzer I'm using in the crease, which is what I did today. And I'm good to go with something that is neutral enough to go with any kind of blush or lipstick or anything like that. Easy enough to know I can get it done in like 2 minutes. And just looks good every single time. So I don't know how long, from my understanding, these are limited edition. I don't know how long they'll be available, but I would snag them if you can, if you are interested. So those are all of my makeup favorites. I have 2 perfume favorites I'm gonna talk about real quick. And these 2 are ones that I have not talked about yet because they are going to also be featured in my perfume haul coming up probably next week. So they are ones that I have accumulated this month and absolutely love. One of them I had never tried before. One of them I have. Let's talk about the one that I have tried before. This is actually my scent of the day. And this is from a house called Lorenzo Pizzaglia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is called Van P Rum. Again, hope I am pronouncing that correctly. I had gotten probably 5, no, I think it was 6 samples that I purchased from this house, and I will try my best to link where I purchased them from. They're not too easily attained, although I do think Lucky Scent has started carrying this line since I purchased those samples. So I will link that as well. But out of all of them, and I liked quite a few of them, out of all of them, this was hands down my favorite. So I did purchase the full size. This is, drumroll please, a boozy vanilla. It is boozy in my opinion. It does have rum. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vanilla notes in it. Tonka bean, caramel, patchouli, more rum in the base, more patchouli in the base. So patchouli and rum are in my top 5 favorite notes, and that is probably why I gravitate towards this so much. It is so, if you don't like a boozy scent, you're not gonna like this, because I do get, I mean, mainly the vanilla, the patchouli, and the rum. I don't get a ton of caramel, although I'm sure it leads a little bit to sweetness, but this is something that I could totally see as a straight unisex fragrance. Anybody could wear this, anybody could wear anything, I know, but when I say that, I say it as I would enjoy Chad wearing this as much as I would enjoy me wearing this. This will definitely be on heavy rotation come fall, because it is just screams fall to me. And this one, this next one I'm gonna talk about is completely on the other side of the spectrum than Vampy Rum. This is from Ormond Jane. They sent this to me and I'm so, so grateful. They even monogrammed the top with my name, which I absolutely adore. This is Sakura. Now I have talked about Ormond Jane a lot lately and for a while, because Ormond Woman is one of my very favorite fragrances. It holds a very, very special place in my heart. I got Bakura in my last haul, talked about that, absolutely love it. They sent this over because they told me it had the same kind of green DNA as Bakura and Ormond Woman, that really fresh like cherry blossom floral accord in it as well. And I was so excited to try it, and y'all, this is good. This is really good. I do get those green notes. I get them right off the bat, and they are on the top, so that makes sense. A little bit of citrus, but it's more in the way of lime than it is lemon, and I can tolerate lime way more than I can lemon in a fragrance. And it's not, you don't smell this and say, oh my goodness, it's a citrus fragrance. At least I don't. I mainly get the green notes, the cherry blossom, and then when it dries down, you get those heavier, sweeter notes like tonka bean and amber, vanilla. It has some sandalwood in there. It's really, really nice. It is a very feminine, refreshing scent to me. Chad really likes this. I will tell you, when I wear Bakura, every time I spray it and I walk outside to where he is, he always comments on it. I think that because of his comments, Ormond Jane is one of his very favorite houses on me. It's beautiful. Y'all, I'm already like down to here. That's how much I've been using it. So, so good. So very different from Vampy Rum, but no less adored to my nose. So that is going to be it. That is my collection of favorites for the month of August. I cannot believe we are ramping up into the fall season. It is my absolute favorite season of all time. So I'm excited, but just a little crazed at how fast it came. So I will have everything listed and linked below. I do use affiliate links, so I appreciate you choosing to use them to support my channel if you do so. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.